So in my adult life, I have this really bad habit of never finishing games. And I'm not talking about playing a game for a couple of hours and then dropping it. I mean like getting essentially to the end of the game and then just moving on to something else entirely. You know, I feel like this might say something about me as a person on a fundamental level, and I don't really want to unpack that right now. So here are some of the best games ever made that I just never ended up finishing. So I never played any of the Atlas games growing up, which in retrospect, kind of wild given that JRPGs were easily my favorite genre. A couple of years ago, after my last semester of university, I got super sick and was essentially bedridden for about 2 months. And at this point in my life, I had kind of fallen out of playing video games because I was so busy with school and work. But having just graduated and with my job being seasonal, I had nothing but time. So looking at some of the winter gaming deals going on, I saw one game that I had heard great things about, so I thought I'd give it a try. When I tell you I played Persona 5 for a week straight, I'm not exaggerating. I think the final playtime for that save file was around 120 hours, and I was easily putting in 10-hour days back to back. I swear I knew Shibuya like the back of my hand. And then a year later, I ran it back with Persona 5 Royal. Across those two playthroughs, I think it was collectively around 250 hours spent on those games, and I loved every second of it. So when I heard that Atlus was making a medieval game, my hype was immeasurable. I got my copy, played the out of it until I beat that first dungeon. I thought the world was super cool, I was really into the story, the music was absolutely fire, but I just never went back to it. I think that Atlus games can be really tough to get back into, because I know for me, I always want to just restart, but I also don't want to lose all the progress I had already made, so I just get paralyzed and end up playing something else. I should probably just grow up and keep playing it, because I've heard that it's an amazing game, heard people say it's better than Persona 5. Trust me, we'll get there one day. Clair, Obscur Expedition 33 was actually the game that gave me the idea to make this video. It's a little bit of a loose fit though, because truth be told, I only got this game like a week ago, and I don't know why I held off on getting this game for so long, but I am so glad that I decided to get it. Obviously, I am very late to the party on this one, as most people with even a moderate interest in gaming know that this is one of the greatest games released in recent years, if not of all time at this point. It's so good.
Wow! If I had a nickel for every time I
had an unhealthy obsession with a French-inspired video game world that explores the topics of grief and loss,
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
I got to Act 3 and decided to take a little bit of a break just to let the game simmer for a bit, because for those that have played it, you know how emotionally taxing this game is, and for those that haven't yet, I would highly encourage you give it a try. Obviously, turn-based French Sekiro is kind of a hard sell, but if that sounds fun to you, it's the game for you. From one slept-on Game of the Year winner to another, this game also took me a really long time to get into, but I know exactly why it took me so long to get into it, because I knew this game would absolutely take over my life. Dungeons & Dragons, tabletop role-playing games in general, are one of my favorite hobbies. And having played Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance as a kid on the PS2, I knew the power that this game would have on me. And I was so right. When I finally got around to playing it, that first day off, I learned about Steam Session Timer. And I also learned that 11 hours passes very quickly. I've seen quite a few people online share a similar sentiment that once you reach the end game of Baldur's Gate 3, you kind of get an urge to just start a new playthrough, and that definitely happened with me, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I swear I'm gonna finish up my first playthrough so I can guilt-free start a second one, but I know I'm gonna be in a state of mourning for a couple days after I finish, because This game is an absolute journey and it's going to take a while to recuperate. So I'm really going to date myself here, but when I first started playing Minecraft, there was no finishing it, you know, you just kind of played. I know that there's a lot of endgame content now and quite a bit of progression you can do, but I never really did any of it. I was still playing when the Nether was introduced, but once the end was added, I just really wasn't playing the game anymore. And picking it back up over the years here and there, I just never really familiarized myself with all the new content that was being added. I would just play it however I wanted to, and all of that end content was something that I just missed. Unlike the other games on this list, I just really don't have a strong desire to go back and beat Minecraft. Not because it's a bad game at all, it's great, but there are just other aspects of the game that I enjoy far more than killing the Ender Dragon. But who knows, maybe on my next Minecraft kick, I'll make it a goal to go do it, to go actually finish the game for once. Or not, you know, that's kind of the beauty of Minecraft, you play it how you want. Final Fantasy X is a special one to me because it was the first game that I never finished. I got a used copy of this game for the PlayStation 2 in the summer of 2007, and I immediately fell in love with this game. It was my first ever Final Fantasy game, and everything about it was just so cool. I spent hours exploring the world, collecting all the Ultima weapons, killing optional bosses. It was great, probably around 200 hours of my playthrough. After that, I finally made my way to go fight Sin, the end of the game. And I lost. I tried to fight him again, but I just kept losing. Now you may be asking, you are 200 hours into this game with Ultima weapons. How are you losing? And to that I say, I don't know. This was 20 years ago and I was a child. So I put the game down and I never ended up finishing it. Until this year. Without going too deep into it, 2026 has been a very life-altering year for me. And in the whirlwind of it all, I decided I was going to go play through Final Fantasy X again and properly finish it. And I did. I made my way through Spira, got the Ultima weapons just like I did when I was a kid, but I actually beat Sin this time. And that's it. It was done. The game was over. And in the least melodramatic way possible, it was really cathartic to actually finish it. You know, after all of these years, it really taught me one thing, that no matter how long the trip, how roundabout the journey, you're always allowed to start over and to try again. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you, Final Fantasy X, for everything. You are a real one.